Into another episode of the Game of Cryptos. I hope you guys are all doing well today. This video just kind of go over a continuation of how I see the rest of Q4 playing out for this year, and obviously leading into 2025. This is kind of a continuation video from my previous video if you guys happen to watch that. But anyways, to dive into it, so what I wanted to kind of point out on this Bitcoin monthly returns chart is obviously right now there's a lot of up and down about what's going to happen in September. Yes, historically in the Bitcoin and the market, Bitcoin has been extremely bearish in September. But one thing that I will like to point out is that in this bull run, this last cycle, once we bottomed out in 2021 and into 2022, none of us expected to reach and surpass all-time highs in Bitcoin before the halving. It's never happened before. So yeah, historically September has been bearish, but honestly, nothing to me anymore surprises me in crypto. And who knows, it could end up being a green month. I'm not trying to give you guys a lot of hopium, but sometimes it is good to look at things kind of against the grain because you just never know. Having said that, though, I do believe that October, November, December will be overall green for Bitcoin, and we have seen that historically, especially in the months of the halving, in the years of the halving, in those last couple months, in 2020, and then again, if you look here, in 2016. Green across the board for those last 3 months, October, November, December, and then in 2020, green the last 3 months, October, November, December. And then, historically, on average, if you look down here, it has been in the green overall, basically since Bitcoin's inception. So those are some very positive things to be looking forward to in the market. And this chart basically is a summary of what's above and how Q4 generally is a very bullish quarter for Bitcoin. Again, though, it is for Bitcoin and the crypto market, because obviously the market likes to follow what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin does well, then we see liquidity come in more altcoins. Your favorite altcoins are going to go up in price as well. So again, I guess probably one of the biggest questions right now is what's going to happen in September. And as you will see in this video, I'm kind of gonna give my prediction how I see the rest of Q4 playing out. But as you can see from this altcoin versus Bitcoin chart, we are still in the Bitcoin season. Yes, some alts will go up against Bitcoin just throughout the journey of the bull run, but overall, the overall crypto market is still down compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been making more gains than a lot of the altcoins, so altcoins are still somewhat bleeding, but I do believe this will change here very, very soon, later in this year, and then obviously going into 2025 to finish off the bull run. So this is the main part of the video that I wanted to get to, guys. I'm just going to move myself here a little bit. So September, obviously one of the biggest things that we have coming up is the potential rate cuts, Jerome Powell, and that's going to be, I believe, about like a week and a half, 2 weeks from now. Arguably, I could see us potentially short-term rallying to that point, and then it might end up being like a sell the news event. Even if overall it should be a good thing, I could see it being a buy the rumor, sell the news. And then, we kind of maybe cool off slightly. And then going into October, I do see us making our way up into the market. Bitcoin potentially maybe in the high 60s. Again, guys, this is not going to be like a specific video. But one thing that I do think might happen, I do believe in the past we have seen somewhat of a little bit of a market sell-off going into Halloween. Sometimes the whales like to kind of play those types of games during the holidays and like to get people excited, and then they sell off. Not going to be a major one because I do think we're still going to be in an overall bullish trend to close out this year. And then leading into the elections, so obviously, guys, we hear a lot of things about, if the Democrats win or the Republicans win, obviously I would say overall consensus is if Donald Trump, the Republicans win, that we might see a more bullish outcome for crypto. Honestly, I still think no matter what ends up happening, no matter who wins, we're still going to see a really good end to this bull run into 2025. But obviously, I would say general consensus would say if Trump wins, that's going to be the most bullish for crypto. I do think we're going to see an uptrend in the Bitcoin price and overall market going into Thanksgiving. Actually going into the elections and going into Thanksgiving, and then after that's done, we could see a little bit of a market cool off, not hitting any like serious, maybe Bitcoin going down a couple thousand, but then overall, again, I do think we are going to be potentially at all-time highs, if not already putting in new all-time highs, hopefully around this point, maybe in the mid 70s or something, hopefully, but we'll see. And then again, leading up into Christmas, I think the market's going to continue to rally, and then I do see a potential short-term sell-off going into the New Year's for tax harvesting and whatnot, and just people getting ready for taxes and taking profit. So again, that's going to be interesting. And then on the lastly, this is just how I see the rest of the year playing out and the rest of the bull run in general. Elections in elections until November, and then this is when I see us hitting kind of like those two peaks that we have generally been seeing in the market the last two cycles. And I think we're going to see that first top in May or April 2025. Again, this is if the market plays out like it generally has the last two cycles. So the first peak around April or May, again, this is a very rough estimate. Nothing is obviously for certain. And then peak 2 being October and December of 2025. There's a little typo right there. But again, guys, this is just me. I'm guessing. I'm taking educated guesses based on data, based on overall market trends. Obviously, nothing is for certain, so take this all with a grain of salt. None of this is financial advice. So just remember that, guys. Don't be heavily reliant on anything I tell you guys. Always do your own research, and I would say that with any YouTuber. Always question anything that they say and do your own research. Because that way it can set you up to potentially do the best in this market, getting multiple points of views from multiple different sources. This YouTuber, these people say it's going to top this time, these people say it's going to top around this time. What do you think is going to happen? When do you think is the right time to get out of the market or take profits? So yeah, guys, this is a short video. Let me know in the comments what do you think. How do you think the rest of the year is going to play out for Q4 and into 2025? I will say it has been interesting that there has been some people, whether it's just, people that, in the comments, subscribers, or just overall, the Twitter, the X accounts, when Crypto X, all the news where people think that we might top this year. If the market topped this year towards the elections and then into November and December, that would be a first out of all the bull runs we've had. I don't see that happening. I really, really don't. I think realistically that the market is still going to kind of continue out how it normally does. And the main reason I say that is when the market was when we put in that new all-time high for Bitcoin and we reached like 72 or whatever, that we had never seen that before. We were ahead of schedule. That's why we saw all this euphoria. That's why we saw all this liquidity in the market, and everyone's like, oh, everyone's just crazy, like everything's going up. Gaming, AI plays, layer, like everything. But I think that was a little bit of a preview to what's to come. We got a little too excited. Bitcoin kind of, it reached its all-time high a little too soon. And then I think everything that you're seeing right now, people are so bored in the market and whatnot. It's just the cycle. It's the cycle resetting itself back to the normal way that the rest of the market is going to play out. Again, that's just my opinion, but that's how I think it's going to play out, and this is exactly how I think it's going to play out. So let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know when you think the market's going to top, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.